Hey everyone, Arnaldo Walkerman here. One of the things whenever you're designing a light show where your truss is going to be seen by the crowd, meaning it's not flown, is to make sure that it looks symmetrical, it's clean, there's not wires dangling. Not just because you want to take pride in your personal presentation, but it's a lot easier to diagnose problems whenever there's any, complications. However, when it comes to hanging lighting on truss, it can often be tricky. Let's take a look at this. Now let's pretend that, there's floods on the top part, okay? And we have maybe a couple of scanners here and our centerpiece light. And the client requested to do bubbles. Well, here comes the new boom arm from DuraTruss. Now this particular one is available in F24 and F34. And I'm actually using right now an F24 setup just so you can see it. I just quickly set these up on the new Pro 3500s. Now this is really cool because, I could possibly put the bubble machine there, but the bracket may not go in there, or it may not be easy to hang it up straight in there. And I don't want the bubbles that close to the lights anyways, because the bubbles may blow back and get all over the lights. Or when somebody, dances right up against the system and shakes it just enough to shake a little bit of the bubbles loose. If you want to keep things separated, this is the right tool for the job. So real quick, let's see how it works and how you can take advantage of it. Now I'm short, so I could clamp it up at the very top part, but for all intents and purposes, we're gonna go ahead and just clamp it on the bottom. Now the F24 has two clamps evenly spaced to match the trussing perfectly. They're not bolted on, they are welded on, so this puppy is going to stay in there nice and tight. We had an event with the F34 trussing and we hung our bubble machine. I actually used two of these. And on one side we had the bubble machine stuck out, the other side we had the UFO. That way the UFO stuck out a little bit past the trussing, which looked great, and the bubble machine was kept away from the lights, which kept things a little bit safer. Make sure you consult with the owner's manual before you overload this with too much weight. But to give you an idea, the Accu UFO was about 30 some odd pounds. It held it with no issue. Another example, we actually had an event where we needed the floods to stick out a little bit past the trussing because we wanted to hit the corners, and we weren't able to hit the corners too much if we had it directly over where the truss was, because other lights would get in the way. So we had the boom arm directly off to the side and we hung the floods right there, and then the black light. And that allowed us to get a little bit better coverage. And that was really handy too. Last but not least, and this is possibly my favorite use for these, whenever we have a single span of truss over our DJ area, which a lot of DJs do, we don't, a lot of guys I know, they don't do the trussing over the dance floor yet. But whenever you just have single span of trussing, maybe you're doing some source 4 Licos, a lot of times you'll want to keep those source 4 Licos away from the rest of your lights, because that much heat generating out of a 750 watt bulb can cause chaos to other lights, cables, etc. You want to keep them in their own area for safety purposes. This is going to allow you to not only have that source 4 Lico out of the way, but even a regular gobo projector allows you to extend it out a little bit more, so it's a little bit less keystoning and again separates it from the show. Another great use for this, of course, is totems. If you're going to have your totem, maybe you need to have a couple floods off to the side. Make sure you have a wide enough base, of course. You can put that near your totem, anywhere where it's convenient for you, and then you can hang your lights. Again, it allows you to keep your totem nice and clean. Maybe have your centerpiece in the front of the totem, and then hang your lights there. The F24 boom arm from DuraTruss. It's a great tool for those of us that want a nice, clean, consistent look across our truss setups, but also need to maximize every bit of space that we have out of our trussing. This is going to allow me to hang some extra lighting without needing to bring an additional stick. Again, lights such as gobo projectors or source 4 Licos, anything like that, I can just bring one of these instead of bringing an additional stick, so I can get a little bit of extra range in there. Again, great tool, great affordable price, and it's welded on, so it's not going to come apart anytime soon. Thank you all so much. My name's Arnaldo Walkerman. Have a good night, and God bless. Show what you working with. Show what you working with. Right, still.